Can I be honest for a second? I am tired, and I bet you are too. Tired of curating the perfect response. Tired of thinking 3 steps ahead in every conversation. You may be thinking, if I do this or if I do that, maybe that'll be too much or not enough. Ultimately, this is tired of performing because that's what we're used to doing, right? We're performing. We have this version of ourselves that we think the people want to see. And we're out here playing that character every single day. At work, we're the professional one. On the internet, we're the one that has it all together. With certain friends, we are the fun one. And with family, we may be the responsible one. And someone in the middle of all that performing, we have lost in touch with who we are. See, I used to catch myself doing that, editing my thoughts before I speak, changing my opinion based on who's in the room, posting something and being obsessed with who liked it, who didn't, and what the engagement looks like, or even if I said the right thing or did it come across a certain way. A certain way being the right way. And truly, that is exhausting because when you're performing, you're not really living. You're just trying to get through the show without messing up on your lines. Now, don't be surprised that not this video, but there's one more video. But after that video moving forward, you see a difference. I do want to share what I have learned and what I want you to hear. There's a version of your life where you just exist and exist as yourself. No script, no performance, no constantly checking to see if people approve. Imagine waking up just being you. Not the you that people think you need to be, but the actual you. The one with the opinions that may not match everyone else's. The one who actually doesn't have it all together. The one who is still figuring it out and not afraid to be seen doing it. That version of your life is possible. And it starts when you stop performing and start living authentically. So let's talk about what's really going on here. I want to talk about how you may be stuck in this cycle and how to get out of it. But in order to do that, we first have to talk about why you may perform in the first place. And maybe even why you trade your authenticity to perform this act every single day. The answer is simple. It is validation. And you just may be addicted to it and you don't even know it. From the time that we were kids, we learned that being a certain way gets us love, approval, and also safety. You act a certain way and your parents praise you for it. You perform well in school and the teachers celebrate you. Or maybe you post something in line and people engage with it and you get that dopamine hit. And then you start to think, this is what the people want and this is what they need, so I'm going to continue to do it. So then you start to build this character. You start people pleasing, or you even start to shape shift depending on who you are around. And that is because you have learned that authenticity is more so risky, but when you perform, that's safety. Performance gets an applause. Performance also gets an approval. Performance means that people stick around. But see, there is a trap. The validation that you get for performing is not real. It's not for you, it's for the character that you are playing. And deep down inside, let's be honest, you know that. And that's why when the people praise you or say that they are proud of you, even when you get all the engagement online or external success, it feels hollow. Because in reality, they don't see the real you. They see the version of you that is performing. And here's what's worse. The more you perform, the more you lose touch with who you really are. You start believing that the character is you. You forget what you like, you forget what you think, and you forget what you actually want. You are busy asking, would this make the people like me, that you really don't ask the question, what do I stand for? And that is the cost of performing. You get validation, but you lose yourself in the process. But let's talk about what authenticity actually means. And the reason being is because I think there's a lot of confusion. Authenticity does not mean oversharing. It doesn't mean being rude or unfiltered, nor is it saying whatever pops in your head without considering others. It's not about keeping it real in the way that may be harmful to others or even chaotic. Authenticity means being aligned. It means that the person you are on the inside will match who you are on the outside. It means that your actions matches your values and not other people's expectations. It means making choices based on what matters to you and not what gets the most approval. It means to stop editing yourself into a version that you think people will accept. And here is why that is terrifying. Because when you show up authentically, you risk rejection. When you're performing and someone does not like you, you tell yourself, well, that's not the real me anyway. But when you're being authentically you and someone walks away, that hits different. The reason being is because they're rejecting the actual you and not some character that you are playing. But here's what I realized. Authenticity is the filter. It weeds out the people who were never meant for you, and it also makes space for those who are. When you perform, you attract people who likes performance. And when you're authentic, you attract people who see you and value you for who you are. And those are relationships that actually matter. Those are the ones that fill you up instead of drain you. And the other thing about authenticity, it does require you to know yourself. And that's the hard work. It means sitting with the uncomfortable questions. More so like, what do I believe? What do I actually want? What are my values? And what's my purpose? Not what my parents want my purpose to be, nor what looks good on paper, and not what gets the most likes. Your purpose. And most people don't know those answers, so it's a lot easier for them to just keep performing. Because performing means that you don't have to do much work. You just have to figure out what the people want and you give it to them. But you cannot live an authentic life without knowing who you are. You can't know who you are if you're busy trying to be the person that everyone else wants you to be. But let's talk about how to stop performing. First, get clear on your purpose. And I mean really clear. Not surface level like I want to help people, but something that's deep and specific. We need some clarity. What impact do you want to make on the world? Or what do you want to be known for? What matters to you so much that you're willing to be misunderstood for it? But here's the thing. When you know your purpose, other people's opinions carry less weight. When you're anchored with what you're here on earth to do, you stop needing others to validate who you are. You stop needing people to validate every move you make. You stop twisting yourself in knots trying to people please people who are not even on your path. You make decisions on, does this align with my purpose? Instead of, will people like me if I do this? But second, you have to stop outsourcing your worth. This is a big one. You have to decide that your values do not come from an approval or other people. It doesn't come from likes, followers, promotions, compliments, or how many people show up for you. Your worth is inherent. You don't earn it, you lose it. And I know that sounds like a nice theory, but in practice, it means catching yourself every single time. No matter if you're about to change your behavior or get an approval. It means saying yes to something and notice that you're only doing it to keep the peace. It means recognizing when you're performing instead of being present. Start asking yourself, am I doing this because I want to? Or if I'm afraid what will happen if I don't? And I'm saying this because I believe it. Or you can ask yourself, am I saying this because I believe it? Or because I think this is something that they want to hear? And when you answer the latter, I just need you to pause, recalibrate, and choose differently. And here's the third one that I like the most. Get comfortable with disappointing people. I am so serious. You will never be authentic if you're terrified of disappointing people. People pleasing and authenticity cannot coexist. You're going to have to let some people down. You are going to have to say no. And this is one that I'm still perfecting, but you're going to have to learn to set boundaries. And also, I'm still going through this, but you're going to have to learn to stop being everything to everybody. And I get it. Some people won't like it. Some people love the version that bent backwards for whatever they wanted. And some people benefited from you performing. And when you stop, they start to push back. They start calling you selfish or different because you don't do what you used to do, because in reality, you're evolving. But it's important to understand that that version of you was performing. It wasn't really you. The version of you setting boundaries and authentically being yourself, that's you. And the right people will respect that. And they will also celebrate it. And the ones who don't weren't really there for you. They were there for the character that you were playing. But remember, this is all baby steps and it won't change overnight. The more you do it, the more you learn and the easier it gets. Trust me, I didn't become this contentpreneur overnight. I am a content creator who creates content on YouTube, but I'm also an entrepreneur with a business. And believe it or not, I had to learn to transition to this person who is authentically me and be the unfiltered version of myself. But like I mentioned earlier, not this video and not the next video because they were already in the to-do list. But the video after the next one, you will see a change. But I just need you to understand that you were not put on this earth to perform. You were also not here to people please your way through life. You were put here to live your life with your purpose, making an impact, and being your actual self. And I know it's scary, and oftentimes it feels safer to perform. But one thing you don't want to do is get to the end of your life and realize that you were performing and not being yourself the entire time. You don't want to have that thought of no one really was able to see you because you were performing and being someone you weren't. In a sense, being afraid to be seen. So go figure out your purpose. Stop waiting for validation from others. And plus, they don't even know the real you. And stop people pleasing yourself into situationships or relationships that drain you. Start showing up for yourself. No matter if it's messy, no matter if it's imperfect, or even if you're still figuring it out. Because whatever is meant for you will stay. The opportunities that are aligned with your purpose will come. And the life that you are meant to live is waiting on the other side of performance. So if you somehow want to know more about me, who I am, and what I do, all you have to do is check the description box down below. But also take a look at the other people that I've worked with to see what they have to say about me. But even if you don't do that, I will leave a link down below in the comment section to an accountability corner with resources available to you. But in the meantime, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and hit the notification bell below so that you're notified every time your girl Leah, posts a video. So with that being said, my name is Leah. I'm the face behind Content by Leah, and I'll see you next time. Bye.